Hello, Catherine Kelleher here from New South Wales Hen Rescue. I'm afraid you're stuck with just me today because Izzy couldn't make it, but we're going to have a chat about foxes and 1080 poison and how it's being used all across Sydney and New South Wales and Australia at the moment and why that's a problem. I'm not completely alone. I've got my girls. We've got Rosemary here. Who else have we got? Bridget. So we might have some visitors popping in and out. Hello, here they are. I've got lots of company, even though Izzy's not. Oh, hiya. This is Dawn. Hello. So yes, we'll have, they're going to be my stand-ins for Izzy, or Izzy's stand-ins. Okay, so let's get chatting. Feel free to chime in with any comments that you have about foxes or 1080 poison or your experiences, and I'll give you some action things you can do as well at the end. So, let's talk about 1080 poison. This is a poison that's being used in our national parks, in our council areas, with the aim of killing foxes. It's an indiscriminate killer, so it will poison and kill any animal that eats it. So that includes herbivores, it includes native animals, reptiles, birds, any animals that scavenge the dead bodies of animals who have consumed 1080. It's also incredibly toxic to humans. Actually, 1 teaspoon can kill 100 adult humans. So it's deadly. It can affect our waterways. It can get there via rain or even heavy dew. So it's a really dangerous substance. It's been banned in 6 countries. Hello, Lisa and Sandy. And hello from all the hens. Oh, who's getting up now? I'm getting various girls perching on me. Yeah, it's been banned in all but 6 countries, and Australia is one of the ones where it's not banned. And not only is it not banned here, but it's given out as if it was sweets. You know, it's just, you can honestly go to a council meeting if local land services are there and you say, oh, I've got a problem with foxes at my farm. They'll just give you 1080 bait with no kind of usage instructions, really. It's just, they shove it everywhere. And there's been many reports of dogs and cats, you know, companion animals being affected by this horrible bait. Hey, this is Kim. Ah, she's fallen in and squished me notes. Here you go. Ooh. And hello. Sorry, I'm going to be a bit distracted whilst they give me attention. One of my favourite things to do is sit in the garden and get attention from hens. And even though we're a hen rescue and we adore these girls, we love foxes too. And it's not that we take the decision to protect the girls very seriously. So we would not be okay with any predator attack. We don't, what it comes down to is our responsibility as hen carers to protect the hens, and it's not for us to take that out on the foxes who are just following their natural instinct. So let's look a bit more at 1080. So it's, the way it kills animals is really horrific. It takes about 48 hours for animals to die, herbivores especially. It can be a little quicker for carnivores, but it's really just a horrendous death. The symptoms include shaking, drooling. There's been images of foxes running into trees. They have anxiety, severe anxiety for that time, vomiting, seizures, being on their back and paddling with their paws. Imagine that going on for 48 hours. And it's been described as one vet by being electrocuted for 48 hours straight. So it is horrendous. And it's the same if a rabbit consumes it, if a fox consumes it, if a companion dog or cat consumes it. So it's hideous, and no animal deserves that. I think the fact that it's all around our parks right now in our council areas, comes to mind. We have Chatswood area, Willoughby Council have just done a big drop, Parramatta, I think it's around Campbelltown, to name a few, not to mention private farmers and landowners that use it. It's really scary. This is stuff that was considered by the Nazis to use on their victims in the concentration camps, but they ruled it out because it was too dangerous for the guards. So that's how disgusting and it just baffles me that this is something that we're throwing out all over the countryside. But I don't want to just say it's a problem because of the native animals that consume it. It's also a problem because of what the foxes go through. Just because a species is introduced does not mean that they should be tortured and killed. They didn't ask to be here. It was humans that brought foxes here in the first place because they wanted to hunt them for sport. And now the foxes are just trying to survive. Okay, so I'm not going to deny they may have an impact on native wildlife, but if the population control must happen, then it must happen humanely. So that could be fertility control, trap, neuter, release. It simply cannot be this disgusting poison. So yeah, I think that we have to take action now, and the fact that it's out there everywhere means that this is urgent. So we need to contact our counsellors, we need to get behind people that do have campaigns against this, such as Animal Justice Party and Sydney Fox and Dingo Rescue, and we need to do whatever we can to highlight this issue and demand that these poisons are collected back up by the council and destroyed for our safety, for the fox's safety, and for all of the other animals, native animals and introduced species and companion animals. So what about foxes? I don't know whether many people have had interactions with them apart from maybe, you know, seeing them killed on the road or maybe experiencing a predator attack. But actually these animals are incredible. They are so beautiful, they're intelligent. They are kind of, in personality, they remind me a bit of a mixture of a cat and a dog, somewhere in between. This is where it would be great to have Izzy along, because she did have experience volunteering at Sydney Fox Rescue. But I've got limited experience myself, especially from when I was back in the UK. And of course there were foxes there, native, beautiful animals in our garden and also in the rescue centres. I volunteered briefly at Folly Wildlife Rescue, and the foxes were just adorable. We had to be careful not to interact too much because they were going to be released back into the wild. Hi Kimmy, you always have to be in the videos, don't you? Hey? And they would wag their tails as we came into the enclosure, and we had to try not to interact with them, but it was just adorable, just like a dog, the way they'd look up at you. And they're playful. If you've ever seen videos of them jumping on trampolines or playing with their toys and playing with each other. Actually, in my back garden in England, my dad's back garden, our little dog Poppy, when I was growing up, she's a little West Highland White Terrier and was my best friend when I was growing up. She would go into our garden where there were a family of foxes that would pass through. Hello girls. And she would play with them, and they would race around just like you see dogs in the dog park, and they go back and forth, and the foxes weren't trying to hurt her and she wasn't trying to hurt the foxes. They were just playing, and it was beautiful. And another time, me and my friend, we used to help at this animal sanctuary in Crowborough, where I'm originally from in England, called Crowborough Animal Welfare Society. And again, hi Maddie, you're making a rare appearance on the video. Me and Maddie always have our cuddles in the evening, but she tends to keep to herself in the day, so we're very privileged to have her here. Whereas Kim, she just sticks her face in everywhere, really. So at this animal sanctuary where me and Melissa, my friend, from when we were 15, 16, we used to go to this sanctuary, and all of the dog food and the cat food that was left over from the day would go into a big bucket, and we'd take it to the bed. Sorry about that interruption. I thought my phone was set to do not disturb, but there you go. And yeah, so we sit at the top of the field, and the mother fox, named very originally Foxy, she used to come up, and she'd come all the way up to eat the leftover dog and cat food scraps. And she got so confident, and she'd put her front paws on the bench, and she would then bring her cubs at the right season in the spring to come and have the food and the scraps, and they were just beautiful, and they tumble and play a bit like puppies or kittens, and they were just wonderful animals, and they're just like with the hens and other animals, they're all unique and all have their own personalities, and it doesn't matter that they're introduced, they are still deserving of our kindness and compassion, and they deserve not to be tortured and killed. Is that too much to ask? When did we become so violent? Are we still in the Middle Ages? Like, why do we think we can destroy every animal in our path and the environment? Are we not thinking long term at all? You've got lots to say, Maddie. Maddie's been with us for 3 years. Oh no! Can you believe it? They had a fight. Maddie, you're meant to be the peaceful one. Maddie fell off a ute about 3 years ago, and she's been with us ever since. So, what can we do if baiting is going on in your community? Well, I've got this new leaflet. It was looking pretty good until it's been trodden on by the hens. Come over here, Kim, and then you won't get told off. Which you can download from our website. So it's henrescue.org/1080 cruelty, I think. But just go on to click on info, live kind, and then you can find it. And this is something you can print off, and yours won't have chicken poo on it, I imagine. And you can distribute around your community if there is 1080 in the area. So it explains, so this one's for Willoughby Council, and it just explains that what's going on in the area, makes people aware, explains how dangerous it is, and how it's been banned in other countries and what the symptoms are like. It also explains a little bit about foxes and how, you know, even cubs, if their mother is killed by 1080, then the cubs are left to starve. And that's a horrific and cruel death as well that I hope no one would wish upon an animal. It also explains how people's companion animals are at risk, cats and dogs. So we've got a picture of a gorgeous rescue dog at the bottom there. And then on the other side, what people can do. So we've got some kind alternatives for the council to consider, such as trap, neuter, release, and fertility suppressants. Which will probably be far more effective in the end. Now we mustn't listen to council's excuses that this is to protect native wildlife. Yes, there may be a problem with foxes attacking native wildlife because they're just trying to survive, but 1080 is killing native wildlife in a far more horrific, disgusting way. Now, this brings us to something that Sydney Fox Rescue have brought a huge amount of attention to, which is the pest control order that came about in 2014. You may have heard of the work of Sydney Fox Rescue and Sydney Fox and Dingo Rescue. They do amazing work, and they were rescuing orphan cubs, fox cubs. They were rescuing injured foxes. And then they desexed them. They provided them with vet care, and then they would bring them up in people's secure outdoor enclosures, their homes, in beautiful environments where they were safe, and they provided a no-kill option. And they did amazing work promoting that foxes are beautiful individual animals and not, you know how they've been vilified in Australia to be as if they're just pure evil. Well, they're not. They have personalities, and there are all different kinds of personalities within the fox species. And they did a great work promoting that, and they're still going strong doing that. But in 2014, there's this new law by the New South Wales government, and it says it makes it illegal for anyone to rescue foxes, care for orphaned foxes, transport foxes, or provide them with vet care. Can you believe that? As if it's not cruel enough what they're already doing, they then stop a rescue from trying to save orphaned fox cubs and for trying to do a good thing and offer a no-kill alternative. What on earth was the reason for that, apart from pure cruelty? And perhaps it was getting in the way of their 1080 trade that they are just throwing all around the countryside. So this is something that we must challenge. It's quite ridiculous that foxes cannot be given vet treatment in this country. People that already had domesticated companion foxes are now unable to take them to the vet if they get sick. These people have relationships with these foxes like we have with a dog or a cat or a hen, like Dawn here. And they're unable to take them to the vet. Not only that, but some councils have seized these foxes and put them to sleep Imagine that. Imagine if someone just came and got your dog and put them to sleep just for their species. It's disgusting. So there's things you could do. You should go to runningoutofTime.com.au. That's run by Sydney Fox Rescue, and it's a brilliant resource that tells you all about that pest control order and what Sydney Fox Rescue are doing to fight that and how you can help. You definitely need to contact local land services and your council. You can also contact, who else have we got on here? Oh, the Minister for Primary Industries. Yeah, that guy. Contact him and see if you have any luck. Share this issue, write to your local paper, try and get as much attention for this as possible. And, you know, just talk about foxes with people. Try and make out that they're not this lie that they're just evil. It's so untrue. So this is on the other side, is all the what you can do on this leaflet. So you're welcome to pop to our website and download that. You can just download it for yourself if you want some info, or you can print it out, double-sided A4, and distribute it all around your community. You could be saving people's cats and dogs and hopefully raising awareness about how beautiful and incredible and worthy of our love foxes are. I also want to talk, since this is hen rescue, we've got to talk about foxes as far as predators. And yes, they will kill your chickens, even if we love them. It is our responsibility to protect our girls, and a predator attack is not okay. If you live in an area where there's foxes, it's up to you to have an enclosure, and not just a boring enclosure where hens are going to be, bored out of their mind. These girls originate from red jungle fowl. They love to explore. Try and make it as interesting as possible. It's like a challenge, and then you can have your girls safe, and the foxes can exist without this kind of war. And we've got to mention the farmers again. Oh, the poor farmers, they're already... there's been more about the drought this week. You know how we had our video the other week about the drought, and they're still going on about how bad they have it. I wish they'd just admit, look, we're going to kill these animals anyway. Please give us money so that we can at least make a profit from them first. But no, they do it so it's like they make the public feel as if the animals are going to be safe once they've been donated to. And the same thing goes for foxes. The farmers will make out that, oh my God, the foxes and wild dogs and dingoes are killing our lambs, they're killing our animals. Well, firstly, how about you predator-proof your land? It's your responsibility. Secondly, don't take up every piece of natural resources in the country for your disgusting, violent, exploitative industry, and so the animals can actually live there. And how about also just stop being so awful to animals? And don't blame foxes for killing them. You're going to kill them anyway. I mean, right now, lambs, I think I saw a post, I can't remember who posted it. Sorry if it was you, but somebody lovely who's trying to rescue lambs went into a field and found 22 dead lambs and ewes just the other night from exposure and from neglect from the farmers. And that's totally common. That's part of the industry. So to blame foxes, it's another excuse. They want sympathy again. They want an excuse to kill everything that lives around natural. Let's not forget farmers. I'm talking about animal farmers here. They kill animals. They kill native animals. They kill kangaroos if they're competing with their sheep or cows. It's about profit. It's about profit. It's not about individuals. It's a violent industry. So that's another issue that comes back to the 1080 poison. Land services have got to stop handing out 1080 like candy to farmers and other animal exploiters just because they want to kill more animals on their land. So the other people that are doing something great about this is Animal Justice Party. They're actually working with Sydney Fox Rescue. And today in Melbourne, if you're down in Victoria, there are still tickets for the Animal Justice Party 1080 Summit down in Melbourne, Federation Square, I think. If you look it up on Facebook, Animal Justice Party 1080 Summit, you can get tickets on the door. Please go. Amazing speakers, so many, including Linda Stoner, who's been working on this campaign for many, many years. Philip Wallen, amazing speaker as well as so many others who are new to me, who I would love to hear speak. I believe they're live streaming it, or at least it will be made available on video, so I would definitely recommend watching that. And then look at their recommendations. What do they want us to do? Maybe there'll be a petition, maybe there's people that we can contact to try and do whatever we can to get this stuff banned. And even if for some reason you don't care about animals, you know, think about your family, think about the future of this planet, because this stuff is lethal to humans, to children. This stuff is going to pollute your waterways and ruin your earth. So, but hopefully you do care about animals, and that's another reason that you're here. So yeah, you can, and if, I mean, what else can we do? I think that you've just got to, get in touch with the council. If you just type in "find my council," you can find all the details, contact every councillor individually, set up meetings with them. It's their job to listen to you. Do your research, find out why it's so disgusting, such a horrendous death. And if you don't have any compassion for foxes, ask yourself why. Why are they less deserving than other animals? They didn't ask to be brought here. And imagine if it was you going through the torturous death over 48 hours, or perhaps your dog or cat or some other beloved animal to you. And just question, why do I feel like that? Is it because society and all of the vilification of foxes in the media and social media has kind of got into my brain a bit? As a kind person who cares about hens and other animals, does it not make more sense for me to care and stop doing this? And if we do, we need to control this population, push for the other kinder ways. Trap neuter release has been proven to work for cats. It can work for foxes as well. So there are all these options. So I hope you found this somewhat useful. A reminder to please download our lovely leaflet. And I'll just address this comment. So BJ Rees, you said that, how would I feel if I had my chickens killed by foxes, as you have? How would I feel? I would feel so ashamed that I had allowed my chickens to be in a position where they could be killed by foxes. I would feel devastated at the loss of the individuals that I had rescued and promised they would be safe forever. I would feel terrible. But I would not blame foxes for their nature, and I certainly wouldn't want them killed, and especially not tortured and killed, for only being themselves and for trying to survive in a country where they wouldn't even have been if people hadn't brought them to shoot them. So whilst a predator attack is a horrible thing, we have to take responsibility for it as hen carers, or whatever animal, maybe rabbits or guinea pigs, whatever animal that you care for, it's up to us to protect them. And yeah, it's got to own up to that one, I'm afraid. The foxes, so that's the answer to that one. Okay, so you're welcome to comment if you have any other questions, or leave a comment under even if the video's over. I know these videos go on for a bit, and we're going to try and do them every week, but you can just pop it in your pocket, listen to it as a podcast. That's probably a good way to do it, though you won't be able to get to see the gorgeous hens then. Here they are, just chilling out over there. Okay, so today we've also got the if you're watching live, or today on the 25th of August, we've got the Animal Rights March in Sydney today and across the country. Please come along, stand up for animals. This is for all animals, so it covers these foxes we're talking about, chickens in battery farms, chickens in all kinds of farms and meat farms and exploited everywhere. We need to stand up for them. This is urgent. As I'm talking right now, so many animals are just living a life of hell and misery, and why are we doing this? We don't need to, and it's upsetting and it's not good enough, and we just need to stop making these excuses. So let's show Sydney, or if we're in Melbourne or any other place where there's a march, that we're not going to put up with this anymore. There's a lot of people that care about animals, and we're going to come together and we're going to make a difference. We're going to speak up for them, including introduced species. And I'll be there giving a talk towards the end of the march, so as well as some amazing activist speakers. So that's 4:30 in Sydney at Darling Harbour by the Spiral Fountain. That's where they're meeting. So I hope to see you there. If you have other topics you'd like us to chat about, it'll usually be me and Izzy from Legion, then please do comment with your suggestions and your feelings about this topic. It's okay if you feel different, but just leave your comments so we can consider it, maybe respond to it next time. But I'm just going to leave you with the fact that foxes are beautiful, funny, intelligent, incredible animals. Please go to YouTube, watch some funny fox videos. They're just gorgeous. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for tuning in. Say goodbye from the chickens. They're all having a bit of a relax, and I will see you soon.